In this video, I am going to quickly explain the reason that we use the different conditionals. So I already have a video about the zero conditional. I already have a video about the first conditional and the second conditional. And you can find those videos in the grammar playlist under videos. Go to videos, playlist, grammar, then choose the video that has conditional in the name. But this video today, we are just going to talk about how are the conditionals different. So we'll start with the zero conditional. The zero conditional is for something that is just a fact. When it rains, the ground gets wet. We use present simple over here, it rains, and present simple over here, gets wet. When it rains, it gets wet. We're not talking about the future, we're not talking about the past, we're talking about a rule, something that happens every time. When I don't wash the dishes, my wife gets upset. Present simple means every time. Not about the future, not about the past. It's about every time, always. It's a rule, it's a fact, it's a pattern that you can see. First conditional is present simple and future simple. So, if it rains, the ground will get wet. And here we're actually thinking about the future. Maybe it will rain tomorrow. And if it rains tomorrow, the ground will get wet. And if someone says, "How do you know that?" then you use the rule. You give them the zero conditional. I know that it will get wet because every time it rains, the ground gets wet. That is a fact. And because of that, I know that if it rains tomorrow, it will get wet. So the zero conditional is for the rule, the pattern, the fact. The first conditional is talking about something that we really think might happen in the future. And then the next one is the second conditional. The second conditional is for something that we don't really think will happen. This is something that maybe it's impossible for it to happen. Or maybe it is possible, but we just really don't believe that it will happen. Let's start with an impossible example. If I were a dog, so it's not possible for me to be a dog. If I were a dog, I would sleep on the floor. If I were a dog, I would sleep on the floor. The first part uses past tense. But when we make the second conditional, we always use were. And some people don't use were, some people use was, that's okay. But you are allowed to use were for every subject in the second conditional. I were, you were, we were, she were, he were, it were. In normal past tense, you can't do that. You say, you were, I was. But second conditional, you can use were for everybody. So, if I were a dog, we have past tense, but we use were. And then I would. Second conditional, we use would verb. So if I were a dog, I would sleep on the floor. But that's not going to happen because I am not a dog. I cannot be a dog. So it's not a real situation. It's not about a fact. It's not about the future. It's just about our imagination. Something that we are thinking about, but it's not really real. And maybe it is real, but we don't really believe that it can be real. For example, if I won the lottery, I would buy a house. It's possible to win the lottery, but it's probably not going to happen, and we don't really expect it to happen, and we don't really believe that it will happen. So that's the second conditional. Things that we don't think will happen, or things that are not able to happen. Third conditional. Third conditional is for something in the past that didn't happen. So if, and it starts with past perfect. If it had rained yesterday. So past perfect over here. Then on this side, it would have. If it had rained yesterday, the ground would have been wet. But it didn't rain yesterday, so the ground was not wet. So this is about the opposite of what really happened in the past. If I had gone to work, I would have met the customer. That means I didn't meet the customer because I didn't go to work. Or, if you had invited me to the party, I would have come to the party. But you didn't invite me, so I didn't come. That's the third conditional. It's the opposite of what actually happened or didn't happen in the past. And then we can also make mixed conditionals where you kind of mix them together, and you can have something that happened or didn't happen in the past and how it affects the present right now. But this is already a lot for this video, so we're just going to stop here. I will make more videos about conditionals in the future. And again, I already have some videos about conditionals in the grammar playlist on this page. So if you want more information about them, please go watch those videos. This video, I just wanted to explain the overall difference between each of the conditionals, but I don't expect you to be able to use them perfectly just from watching this video. This is just so you know, why do we use this one? Why do we use this one? Why do we use this one?